Right, fantastic. Saif, thank you so much for joining me, Wajid, all the way from India or wherever you are across the world. You're a very well-traveled human being. That's a little banter between me and you. Um,
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you very much
Saif,
for being here.
today's performance with Tottenham taking on Lask, what were your thoughts on a different lineup today and who impressed you this evening against Lask in particular?
I think it was a good game. I mean, wasn't like a world-beating game performance or anything, but it was a good game. We kept a clean sheet, so can't ask for more. Bale's getting into it a little bit, so it's encouraging signs. I think Mora was really good today. Højbjerg was good. I think I'm happy Davinson Sanchez didn't screw up, so it was a good game overall.
What did you make of Bale's performance? Because statistically, it wasn't the best game for him. 72% pass accuracy, only 50% dribbles. He lost possession 20 times, no shots, no
Yeah,
no
I'm cutting him some slack. He's not played properly for 2 years, so I'm cutting him some slack. He didn't look up to the pace, but I think he'll be fine.
Do you think? Obviously, there was that chance he missed against West Ham, which could have put the game to bed. Obviously,
Yes.
there's today's performance. How long would you personally, as a Tottenham fan, give him before you start going, okay, something's not working here?
I think at least 5 to 7 games.
So if
We're
we're
going to
having,
give him that much.
so if we're middle of November and we're having this conversation, is this a different Saif and a different conversation?
It would be a different conversation. But again, I think he's not going to be the same pace as 7 years ago. That's for sure. So if you're expecting the same pace, that's not going to happen. But he's got quality finishing, and he's got some new things to add from Real Madrid from his time as Real. So I'm expecting some quality finishing there.
So what?
So am I.
So what output are you personally expecting then? So if you're not expecting the Gareth Bale of 7, 8 years ago, what would be a good outcome / return from Gareth Bale?
Are you talking about goals and assists?
Just generally
For the season?
Yeah, for this. Well, just generally goals, assists. Like what do you think he brings to this Tottenham side now that wasn't there 7 years ago? Or what do you think he might not bring that he brought 7 years ago?
Well, he won't bring the pace, but he's going to bring the winner's mentality, which we lack. We need a guy who's won 4 Champions League. He needs to get it over the line, get a trophy this season. So that's what we're looking from him, the experience, which our guys sadly lack.
What did you make of Vinicius?
I think he's a good backup. It's just his first game, so again, like it's too early to judge him in one game. But yeah, the signs look encouraging.
And what do you think of your chances in the Europa League this year?
I think you're going to go a long way in the tournament. Let's be honest, the quality of the teams isn't great right now. It's not going to be there till probably the round of 16 or round of 32 when the Champions League teams comes in. That should be a little more interesting. So I'm expecting at least even if you get a loss or something, it's fine. I mean, don't read too much into it.
Do you think, man?
What are your thoughts on the type of football you're playing this season under Mourinho? Has it surprised you somewhat? Because Mourinho's always been known as a defensive counter-attacking manager, and we are seeing a different brand of football being played under Mourinho. Has that somewhat surprised you and the people that that are Spurs fans, or did you think it was actually going to go this way?
No, I don't think anyone would expect it to go this way, but there's quality attack, so he might as well take advantage of it. And I think this year the defense all across the Premier League has been a little subpar, so including us. So I think it's going to be a different season. Everyone's conceding a lot of goals. So if you have a quality attack, your job is basically to outscore the opposition. So there's going to be a lot of 4-3, 5-4 wins. That's how it's going to be across all the teams, not only Spurs.
I think subpar's being really polite. I think some of the defending's been awful. Like we've had some good quality goals, but there's been a lot of defensive mistakes across the Premier. Like,
Sure.
Just taking United for example, just shambolic. Chelsea, like the big boys aren't defending like you'd expect them to, and it feels like anyone who gets a good run of games together will have a shot at the Premier League this season. That's the type of
Yeah.
season it's been like. If you have 5, 7, 10 games, you're going to be in with a shout regardless of who you are.
I think plus, the fans, it's making a difference. It's making a big difference. Like, okay, it may also prove negative because sometimes the fans get on your back, but then sometimes it's, it's your 12th man. So maybe they would encourage the defense a little more. But, they're missing, so it's making a difference.
Shall we move to the Arsenal game quickly?
Yeah, I can. Saif, did you watch the Arsenal game, or did you see the highlights?
Bits and pieces. I did see the Arsenal goals, unfortunately, but yeah, I did. It was an all right performance. Again, not going to read too much into it. It's the first game. It's not a great opposition. They did a good job to come back from 1-0 down, but wasn't like a great flair performance or anything. It was an average performance and an expected to win. They did win.
I mean, you can tell it was a side that's full of changes. Pepe doesn't normally start. Nakita got a run. Saka was in the middle. It was the first time we've seen Partey out. There's no Aubameyang. You can tell it was a side that wasn't really gelling well. Looked off the pace, and I don't know. I thought they were quite lucky to get the win personally.
Well, that's the difference. They have the quality finishing, which Rapid didn't have. So I guess that was the difference.
I personally can't see Arsenal doing well in the Europa League. I just can't. This fixture just showed me that this Arsenal team is lacking somewhere. Because you shouldn't really be performing like that against. They're like a Championship stroke League One team. We have to be honest here, and we also have to take a big look at Arsenal's goalkeeping situation now. Look at the mistake Leno made today. And he almost cost him a second goal as well after the first mistake.
Yeah, I did see that. I think they were a little lucky to get away with that. It wasn't a good defensive performance at all. I think Arteta's improved the defense. It was shambles last year. It has improved. And I think the improvement has come after the North London derby. I think he's taken that part of Jose Mourinho's game and drilled it into Arsenal. And, the thing which irks me most is everyone criticizes Mourinho's performances, when he was playing the counter-attack game. And suddenly when Arsenal played through Arteta's a genius. And all. I don't know how that makes sense.
I mean,
That's a fair point.
But Mourinho's the most criticised manager in the Premier League, isn't he? Yeah, he has been.
But be fair. And yeah, I understand because he is like, I mean, it's he's a headline maker, so you got to do something, but be fair. Like, don't be blatantly partial. Like today's commentary was horrible. Like it was just like the guy was just hoping we crashed like how we did against West Ham, So
as you mentioned, West Ham, what do you make of the performance against West Ham? 3-0 up, utterly cruising.
Wajid, we'll come back to that. Let's finish up Europa and Champions League.
Sorry, go on.
Okay.
Right. So for me, it's a shame we've got no Arsenal fans, but hopefully we'll get some in the future. I think Arsenal have made a massive mistake in letting go of Martinez. Martinez is by far the better keeper overall.
He did a good job last year. Yeah.
Shot stopping's not the best, but it's not the only thing. And I can only judge him at Villa with his current performances. And I'll be honest, I think, in my opinion, at this moment in time, he probably is the best keeper in the league. If you look at who he's playing for Villa. So he's always going to be more or less exposed. He's always going to be tested. And I just think aerially, coming out, commanding his box, communication with his defensive line. And I look at Leno Wajid, it's like, you have those players that just always want to pass, and they don't want to clear their lines. And Leno just reminds me of that. He thinks he's playing schoolyard football.
But that's why he brought Leno in, though, isn't it? He brought Leno in because, as you talk about all the time, this is the transition football is going to. Everyone has to be a ball player. No one it's very, very rarely now you see someone in the 18, unless it's the 89th minute and you're defending a 1-goal lead. You don't see anyone just hoofing the ball, long ball. United was the first team I've seen in a long time that just were direct. Everyone has to pass. Even goal kicks now, you don't see anyone just hoofing the ball out unless you're chasing the game. It's roll it to the edge of the box, put everyone under pressure. And that's why he likes Leno. Martinez wasn't that, but you have a keeper to stop your goals, don't you? And Leno, for me, fumbles the ball too many times. Even when he stops the shot, it's always back into dangerous areas. It's never, out of the way. Never catches the ball. Like, you always feel like if you put Leno under enough pressure, you're going to make a mistake. And I completely agree with you. Martinez did a fantastic job. Martinez was awesome at the end of last year, and he just wasn't Arteta's cup of tea. And he wanted first team football. So fair play to him.
I think it is. I understand. I totally agree with what you're saying. A lot of Arsenal fans would say to me that you need to understand something. If he was that good, why did he only start this season? And I said, look, that's because Wenger never gave him an opportunity. And two, you give a player a run of games, and then you can judge him after 10 or 15 games. There was a reason why people were saying Arsenal had the two best keepers in the league, because you've got one of the best backups you could ever have. I'll be honest with you, Wajid. I'm actually disappointed that Chelsea didn't put a bid in. It disappoints me, because you've got a ready-made goalkeeper there, someone who's been at an English club, who's got a little bit of experience in the Premier League, and look how much money he went for. I bet Arsenal were laughing to the bank.
How much did he go
but
for?
I bet they're not laughing now.
How much did he go for? 15 million?
Something around that, 15, 20 million, something around that figure. For Villa, it was big money, but look at what you get at the end of the day. You get a solid overall keeper, and I think that is the most important thing. On the positive side, for Arsenal today, Partey looks good. He looks like the real Partey, the Diego Simeone Partey, winning the ball, moving it forward. David Luiz scored a nice goal today with his head, and Oba came on and changed the game for them. But this is the thing about the Europa League, and I know it's early, but you've got teams like if you're a British team or a team that's going to beat these guys, this is where the players, the fringe players, the guys that are just in the squad, this is where they need to make a name for themselves. Put the manager under pressure and say, listen, I'm ready for a first team start. Saif's watched the squad. Saif watched the game, and I don't know how many players that Saif can think, you know what, I think you're ready. We know their forward line, Spurs forward line, is not going to be touched by anyone in their fringe squad. But defensively, possibly, maybe giving a fringe player a chance only if they can show quality in the Europa League games, which
Actually, Ben Davies put in a good shift today as a centre back, left-sided centre back. He put in a good shift today.
What are your thoughts on Ben Davies?
Sorry?
What are your thoughts on Ben Davies?
Still, it's very difficult to say, actually, because some games he's excellent, some games he's missing. So it's very difficult to say. He's not consistent, but he's a good left back. Again, we need a couple of good left backs, which we have now with Reguilon and Davis. So I think it's a good rotation option. But I think Reguilon's a better back going forward. You know what I mean? I mean, in the attacking sense. Davis doesn't attack as much, but I think Davis was good today as a centre back. So maybe they could look at that, have if Sanchez, Alderweireld, and look at having maybe Davis in a few games at least as a left-sided centre back. Makes sense.
What is your, you're given the reins. What is your best back five at Tottenham at this moment in time?
I think it's got to be Reguilon and Doherty in the wings, and it's got to be Alderweireld, and I would go in for Davis right now because I'm not convinced with Sanchez, and of course Lloris.
I should have said back four, like Lloris is a given, as to be honest. Yeah. But don't you think do you think with Sanchez you got that recovery pace? Yes, he's prone to a mistake or something, but he's physical. He wins the ball. He
He
will
does, but
pass.
look, I don't want to be too critical. He was fine today. There was no issues. He wasn't good the last 3 games, so it's cost us points. That's the issue with him. He's young, he's learning. I've been hearing that for a couple of years. He does do a few errors. So I mean, I'm not asking to sell him, but probably just ration the games he plays.
In the games. just get him out when we have to. Ja, go on. Come on.
So sorry, Saif. Oh my God, Saif, you know what? That is amazing. That is the best thing I've heard today. That's absolutely amazing. Saif, you have to keep that now and use it on any player you wish to do so throughout the season.
Ration them.
Yeah, ration those games. Finally, just finish up on the Europa League in terms of English clubs. Leicester, fantastic result today, 3-0. It's good to see Leicester in the Europa League. You know what? Everybody knows their first 11 is extremely competitive, and it'll be interesting to see what happens once Leicester do get through the group and get into the next
relatively straightforward draw. It's going to be a relatively straightforward draw. So it'll be interesting once things go to the round of 32. That should be fun.
I feel that, Saif, obviously you've been watching football for a very long time as well, but remember when Arsene Wenger used to play all the kids in the League Cup? Sometimes I feel our clubs should play all the kids to see which youngster can cope with the Europa League pressure the best. Just one game, after we've secured the group, play all the kids, no seniors, and let's see where our kids are. What are your thoughts about that?
I think that makes absolute sense. Once you're secure, yeah, absolutely go for it. Today, I think Jack Clark got 5-10 minutes, so that was good. But yeah, I'd like to see all the youngsters because they've been hyped up, and some of them have been called the next this guy and the next that guy. We need to see them in action. We need to see how good they really are, and it's a good situation to be in. Play in the Europa League. Granted, there's no crowd, but you play the top players. You play the second rung of players, but you test yourself because they're definitely going to be better than your opposition of the under 23s and the under 18s. So you test yourself against better opposition.
What about your thoughts?
It's a nice sentiment, but it's never going to happen because it's all about the money. It's all about making sure the players are fit and stuff like that. It's not going to happen. Like United did it once last season, I think, when they went to Croatia, where they took Gomez, Chong, Garner. They played the youth team, and then they'd already qualified, and then you didn't see anyone ever. You didn't see any of them ever again. So
no, but that was that in the Europa League or was that in the Champions League?
No, Europa League group stage. It's where they lost 2-1, and like Chong missed the sitter to make it 2-0, then they went up the other end and scored. But it's a nice sentiment, but it's not going to happen. And if you really want to keep them up the pace and stuff, throw them, and if they're good enough, you throw them up for 5-10 minutes on a Premier League game and see what happens.
Fair point. Right, let's get into the Champions League. Saif, I don't know if you've seen the highlights of any of the games, in particular the PSG Manchester United game. What are your thoughts on that particular game and Manchester United's performance?
Well, according to me, PSG didn't turn up, so they were quite poor. And United were on cruise control, on second gear, didn't need to do anything spectacular. They just played it out. They got the win. They got it done. Simple performance, good performance. Didn't have to waste or, didn't have to even try out Cavani. They cruised through it. PSG were really bad, awful.
I think.
Why do you think that was? Oh, sorry, Wajid, go on.
I think PSG got a lot more credit last year than they actually are. Because when you look at their run to the Champions League final last year, they didn't They didn't play anyone of any substance. What did they get? Leipzig, Atalanta, and a really poor Dortmund side.
Leipzig a good team.
Yeah, but when you compare, no, not really. It's the first time they've
I
ever
feel
made
so.
this. No, not really. They've only made this. They made they played a Leipzig side that had Timo Werner all season, but Timo Werner had moved to Chelsea when the Champions League started, didn't it?
Yeah.
You know when?
Yeah.
You know when the Champions League restarted back in August?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Werner already
Yeah,
moved.
Werner was gone. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you're missing the Premier striker in the tournament and in the season where they've had him all season. Like it's not the same Leipzig side. If they play this Leipzig side now that have now got a system without Werner, then fair enough. And the loss of Marco Verratti and Marquinhos shouldn't make that big of a difference. You and I watched the game, together. There wasn't a great PSG side at all. You said the entire game they're there for the taking. United should win this.
I'll tell you what I saw before I judge PSG. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, and I rarely say this. Bruno Fernandes is world class. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I could not believe what I was seeing. He's got the passing ability of Iniesta and Xavi. Honestly, what did I don't think I said this to you. I don't think I said this to you. It's been on my mind all day, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I just thought, right, doing it is one thing. The stats back it up as well. Oh my God. How many times did you put Rashford through?
I think he put him through for all 4 of his chances, didn't he?
Honestly, he was absolutely fantastic. For me, he was your man in my personal opinion.
Mine was Fred.
But yeah, but I look at PSG and who have they replaced Thiago with? Who have you replaced your leader with? And they've not invested.
Sorry, Thiago Silva.
Yeah, Chelsea Thiago. Who've they replaced him with? You can't have someone who's an absolute legend at your club and not replace him with a big time player. You'd have thought PSG would have gone for Upamecano or a Koulibaly kind of player, thinking, you know what, we need a solid centre back. But no, they've got Kimpembe or whatever his name is. He's shocking. He's the reason why they lost the Champions League final. Mbappe, where was he first half? He was average. Neymar was trying to pull the strings. Mbappe woke up in the second half, but I just saw Manchester United. That formation was extremely functional. It worked. McTominay and Fred winning the ball in the middle. Fred moving forward with the ball. Obviously, they were mostly going down the left. There was hardly going. Wan-Bissaka was trying, but his defensive abilities are fantastic. He pocketed Mbappe. Basically,
I like the young the young defender Tuanzebe. I think he was good. He played well.
Tuanzebe's got that pace that United have been looking for. Like the thing with that everyone said about Maguire, Lindelof, is that they're not mobile. Tuanzebe, I think there was one time where Mbappe was through on the left hand side, and he recovered him, he muscled him off the ball, took the ball. To carry it on, like Tuanzebe was a rock. That PSG had moments, and obviously, given United currently defensively, I was slightly worried. But yeah, for all intent, even the goal was really poor by Martial. It's not like they created anything clear cut, except I think the Neymar shot from the edge of the box that went straight to the head.
Yeah, the Kurzawa save.
Oh yeah, the Kurzawa save as well
by De Gea's crotch.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it wasn't great. And I'll be honest with you, if they don't buy in January, they're not gonna get past.
I mean, but look, they replaced Cavani with Moyes Keane. Moyes Keane couldn't even get into an Everton side. The man's
No, he's on loan though, isn't he? I don't think they replaced him.
No, but you replaced Cavani. But for the season, you replaced Cavani with someone who can't get into the Everton side.
Yeah, but I think Moyes Keane will do well in France. He's not probably going to do well in the Champions League, but yeah, I think he'll do well in France because they don't have the pace we do in the Premier League. So,
Saif, that's. But if you're playing the League League One and the Champions League is still different. There's levels.
Absolutely.
No,
Absolutely. I agree with you, but I'm just saying that that's probably why they got Kane. And they should have got probably another world-class player in, which they can afford. I don't know what's the problem.
Marco Verratti is half the time is always injured. As world class as Marco Verratti is, he's half the time he's spent on the physio table. The man misses too many games. You're not going to get a fit Marco Verratti. Why would that midfield of Herrera, Danilo Pereira, and who was the other person in the middle? Let me just check. It was Danilo Pereira, Idrissa Gueye. That's not a creative midfield. That's a functional midfield that will destroy, but nothing's going to be created from there. And that's the problem. Like Neymar was dropping.
That's not a midfield which is going to win the Champions League.
But Neymar was dropping deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and then this is what happens. Your best player who attacks one side, he's got to drop deeper and deeper. That was fine for United. United, cool, take the ball on the edge of your 18-yard box and push up. We don't care. You're not where you're most effective. The one time he got that pocket of space in the middle, he got a shot off, but he was there few and far between. Mbappe wasn't there. Di Maria created some chances in the opening exchange, but then he got hauled off. I don't know. Kazawa for me was their best player in the attacking sense, and you're not paying Lion Kazawa to bag you 20 goals, are you? What he should have done was defend, and if it wasn't for Rashford's decision making, United win 4-5-1.
It's true. I think Paul Pogba played well when he came on, but I do have to say that when Pogba played that ball to Rashford, if you look at Rashford's face, he was surprised that he was allowed to turn and run. And I just thought defensively, Danilo, whatever his name is, just defended really badly. It's the basics of defending. You don't let a player turn.
Sorry, you mean Diallo? Sorry, Danilo.
Is that his name? Diallo. Yeah, someone like that.
Diallo is the centre back. Danilo is the midfielder.
Right. So they've got so many problems. I think PSG they burnt out. They're eventually going to lose Neymar and Mbappe unless they don't want to leave France or they want to go to sunnier climates like Spain. Hopefully Mbappe will come to the Premier League eventually. But yeah, United, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Leipzig next week. I think United hopefully will get more of a sterner test because you're a big fan of, can't even pronounce his name, Nainggolan or whatever his name is. So hopefully we'll see a better game. But, fair play to United. They did what they needed to do. They got the result. It's given Manchester United a big boost going into this weekend and future games. Next game, might as well cover the crap first. So Chelsea versus Sevilla. I watched it this morning.
Sevilla.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. Defensively, we were really good. With Thiago in there, it just worked. There were some hairy moments with Zuma. There always will be some hairy moments with Zuma. That is what I expect of Zuma. But the defense and the midfield couldn't connect, and Werner was just isolated. Havertz was nowhere to be seen. I think Ben Chilwell was probably our best player, to be fair, and the rest were just there to be counted. Mendy made one quality save. He looks like a young keeper that's hopefully going to progress well within the squad and for the rest of the season, and hopefully keep Kepa out. But we'll have to see. I think if that team plays on the weekend and we just defend for our lives, hopefully we can get a point. But yeah, that's all it was. I'll be honest with you. Sevilla had most of the possession, and I thought Sevilla could have nicked it. It was more or less a dead rubber game. Both teams had opportunities, but when you look at the stats, and You could tell. You couldn't tell who the home team was. You really couldn't. That's how bad it was when I watched it this morning. But I'm very critical of Frank, and I'll be good. I'll say something nice first. Defensively, he's working on it. So well done, Frank. My issue is this: why the hell are you accommodating Mason Mount like last season? Why is he playing on the left? Why would you not put Pulisic, who was our best attacking player from last season, on the left-hand side? That is my bugbear with that game. Apart from that, I was happy with a defensive performance, which I think we're going to need for the foreseeable future. Saif, do you have anything to say about the Chelsea game? What your thoughts were?
I saw the highlights, and it was just like literally 2 minutes. Nothing much happened in the game. Chelsea were happy to just get away with a clean sheet. That's what they were looking for. But I think they forgot that you got to score to win. I think they just forgot about that. So, I mean, you can't criticize anything much really, because they were happy with the clean sheet, and it was important to get the clean sheet to get the motivation going. Because they've been pretty poor defensively, like the rest of the teams. But it's a start. It's a step in the right direction.
Saif is a lot nicer than I am. He really is. He says it in an eloquent way,
In a very polite way.
In a very polite way. And then Muncie versus Porto.
Muncie
were lucky.
Muncie were lucky.
They were lucky.
Muncie were really lucky. Porto had chances. That Diaz goal to start the game, he's not done anything. He's literally just dribbled in a straight line like he's playing FIFA and then smashed it into the corner. And Porto had chances. If that's a better team, Porto win that game.
I think apart from Man United, I think all the English teams in the Champions League and probably in the Europa League, extremely flat.
Liverpool, I mean, we'll get onto them, but even Liverpool were incredibly lucky.
100%. But yeah, coming back to City, I think Pep's gonna have some serious problems this season. I think that Torres is a good player and Diaz is a good player, but what's going on with Sterling? He doesn't look the same player. What is it? Motivation? Does he want more money? What is it? Since I just don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Raheem Sterling at all. Was it all hype for the last year or two?
I think he's just burnt out. I literally think he's burnt out. I think that's the problem most of these players are suffering. I think they had the break too early. They had that extended break from March to when did we restart the season in June? June,
yeah.
Yeah, June. I literally think these players are just burnt out. And the schedule doesn't get any easier. I'll tell you that. If you're playing in a European competition, you are playing 2 games a week without fail. And do you know what? I have no sympathy for these big boys because that's why you have a squad for.
Yeah, it's true. Saying that though, City got the win. That was the most important thing, and they move on. But I think next week and the game after will be telling. We'll see, because I think you will see some of the British clubs slip up because you can't carry on with these types of performances. You really can't, because Porto have shown that if they would have shown a bit more might and if they were a bit more lucky, they would have got at least a point. You could argue they deserved all 3. And I think it was just one of those games that you needed a crowd in, because sometimes you need the crowd to lift a team over the line. Like Saif said, Chelsea desperately need their crowd. Whereas I'm sure you're going to say the same thing about Man United. But
this makes a Chelsea United game interesting over the weekend. That should be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun for him.
I think they're going to be... both of them are going to be a little knackered.
I think it's going to be closer than you think. Like, we've seen what United...
it's going to be close, for sure. It's going to be close.
You've seen what United are like. The up and down.
To be honest, I think it could even be 0-0.
I don't think it'll be 0-0.
No,
Because I
no,
think
sir.
they'll
I
be a
don't.
little bit knackered. They've been playing a lot, all of them.
Yeah, but with the way these two teams defend, which is what is defense, there's going to be goals.
So
Yeah.
both teams to score.
Yeah, without question.
Uh,
I would be shocked if there's not at least two goals.
Let's just finish up with the Champions League, and we'll get to the Prem straight after. Ajax versus Liverpool. I watched the game, and I couldn't believe what Ajax were doing. Majid, they're outside their box, and instead of going direct, they were passing it around. I was like, "What? Get in that box and shoot!"
I don't know. I don't get it with
The
Ayax.
defense was they're there to be taken advantage of. They exposed Wajid, Adrian, Gomez, and whoever was next to him. Wajid, they are not good enough. Honestly, anybody can get at that centre back line.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, they had so many chances, and then there was a clearance by Fabinho off the line. Fabinho's gone straight back to centre back. He's become their best centre back. You don't trust Joe Gomez at all.
I'll be honest with you. I was celebrating when I thought that ball went in. And then I was just hoping the watch was going to go off and the ref was going to blow the whistle. I really, really was. And I was upset for about 5 minutes after. And I couldn't believe he got there. And you know what? He's top class, Fabinho. There's no doubt. He was probably their best player. But yeah, they're not. That defensive line, especially those two centre backs. Honestly, Wajid, I think now is the best time to play Liverpool if you're a big team.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially if you've got a good attack. Honestly, they're just shocking. Everton scored 2 past them. And I think everybody else will. I know Alisson's back in training, but he won't be back for a good few weeks yet. So I think everyone's going to have a chance against this Liverpool side.
I think.
And Thiago was he picked up a knock against Everton. Welcome to the Premier League, Thiago. And but he's not injured that badly. So I think he'll be back on the weekend. But I'll be honest with you, Wajid. Ajax did well to control Trent. They just couldn't control Robertson. And I think that's what it came down to. They had the clearer chances. But I just feel for Ajax, when you sell your best players season in, season out, you're not going to do anything, to be fair. I feel for them. They are a feeder club. And I understand that. They know that. But, some of those, I think you just need to be more direct. Saif, what were your thoughts on Ajax versus Liverpool?
I think this is the way Ajax always plays. They just pass and they pass and they just pass. There's no end product. So that's how it goes. So basically, I think Liverpool, again, I don't think Liverpool played great. They were on second gear, but they did their job. They got to survive till the next week. And, it's a game of no consequence. So they'll take the 1-0 anytime. You lost your best defender. You don't have your number one keeper. You take the 1-0. It's fine. You kept a clean sheet. That's fine. That's all you're looking for. None of these games have any impact, till... Yeah, I just thought it was a cruise control victory. It's not a great, till match day 4, nothing much is going to happen. So, just take the win, move on, protect your squad for the Premier League. That's what you got to do.
I'll be honest. I think Liverpool are very, very lucky, and Chelsea are very, very lucky with the groups they've been drawn. I think if they were in tougher groups, there'd be massive problems if they keep on performing like that.
I'm preparing for Europa.
I think I think Chelsea will qualify. I think
qualify.
I think
I don't think Red Bull Leipzig are that good.
I'll be honest. I don't think PSG are that good. I think PSG are more likely to drop out than Leipzig are. PSG need to sort out that midfield.
Yeah, I don't want to see PSG in the Europa League though.
Imagine.
I think that's their standard at the moment. I really do. I think that is their standard at the moment. I just want Chelsea to go to the Europa League because I don't think we're going to make top 4. I've got no confidence in the squad this season, and it's worse than last year. It really is.
Since you brought up the top four, I think that's a perfect segue to this week's Premier League games. Don't you think? Let's get into it. I mean, I guess it's the game of the week. Man United, Chelsea.
Let Saif give his predictions and his thoughts, and then you can go. Then I'll go. Go on, Saif.
I can't wait for yours.
I think my prediction is gonna be a draw. I think Chelsea can't keep a clean sheet, though United would be tiring. I think they'll get a goal. I think Chelsea will get 1-2. I think 1-1 seems fair.
Seems fair. That's what you think's gonna happen.
That's what I think is gonna happen. I think 1-1 that's my prediction. 1-1, and I think it's gonna be a goal from. I think Greenwood's gonna come in and score, and I think Chelsea will get one through Havertz.
It's probably a bad omen, but this is the first time I'm going into a game actually confident that United can actually do something. I think Chelsea are the level in terms of how poor they are defensively in terms of United, and I think with United's pace and the way they can get out the wing backs, because they don't strike me as people that are going to keep up with the likes of Rashford, Greenwood if he's playing. I mean, there could be a chance that Cavani makes his debut and stuff like that. There'll be goals, and I think it'll be. I don't know. I'm fairly bold for me. I'm going 3-1 United. Big man, what are we saying? Go on, lay into your team.
I don't really know what Chelsea side's going to turn up. I have to hope Silva's playing and Azpilicueta's playing. I wouldn't start with Reece James. I just think we need as much experience as we can get in the back line. I would like to play that formation that Man United played against PSG, 3-4-1-2.
Oh, 5. That goes back to a 5-2-1-2.
Yeah. I just don't think we're good enough to keep a clean sheet. We need as much protection as we can get in the back line. We know what United are going to do. Also, the midfield. I don't know how Jorginho makes our side week in, week out. I really don't. I don't know what we spent 70 million on.
What's his problem with Conte? Why can't Conte get a game in your side?
No, he's getting game time. I just think his confidence. The whole team's not playing well. As a team, they're not playing well, even though they played well against Sevilla. But I'll be honest, I didn't think we deserved anything out of that game. I thought Sevilla were the better side overall. I just don't know what Chelsea side's going to turn up. I think I'm writing the season off. Yeah, it's so early, and I've written it off. I just don't think. The thing is, this Wajid. Remember when we discussed the Man United Chelsea last season in first game of the season, and I said to you for 65, 70 minutes, Chelsea were amazing.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't say anything bad, and I just said, you know what, the result does not reflect the performance, and I thought, you know what, I'll take that. Unless I see something amazing on Saturday where I think, wow, Frank has actually answered the questions. He's dotted the I's and crossed the T's. And I don't think he will. I really don't think he will. Ben Chilwell is injury prone. And without our leaders, and you know what leaders mean in a team, without our leaders, I think we're going to struggle.
Why isn't Frank under as much pressure as Oli is?
Because Frank's not going to get sacked. Plus, he's English.
Yeah, but he should be on the same chopping block as Oli, though.
He's not, though. He's English.
I know he's not. I know this. You know this. All his boys are in the media, stuff like that. But he's just as bad as Oli is.
No, he's worse. You're laughing. You're laughing. I'm not laughing.
I thought they're on par with one another. PSG is the first time I've actually seen Oli tactically aware. That's the first time I've gone, do you know what, Oli? Fair play.
The problem... Well, okay, I'm being a bit harsh on Frank. Right, Wajid. We have to start where we were last season. You can't just bring 5 or 6 in and change the team like that. It doesn't work like that.
It's more than that, isn't it? Eduardo, Thiago Silva, Chilwell,
We've changed so
Ziyech,
much.
Werner.
And what does this Ziyech do? What, when am I going to see it? You're the one that was hyping him. They bought him in January. When am I going to see this? I saw him one decent performance when he played for Ayax. When am I going to see this guy? We've got him on the right. When am I going to see something? He's always injured.
He's had
He
one
came in
game
for 20 minutes. But when am I going to see something from him, Wajid? I'm sorry. I need to see something.
Oh, no.
Havertz. Oh, my God. I would have spent the money on Upamecano. People are just like, Havertz good. He is good on the ball. I'm not denying it. Give me the return. I want the return.
Well, but I said, but I said this on the, we said this on the show, innit? Which is that 71 million that Chelsea spent on Havertz was the wrong position because they'd already spent all the money up there anyway. That's the last place you needed the money spent. It's like they bought a Maserati when they already had a Ferrari. What's the point?
The sporting director at Chelsea got it wrong this summer. There's only been two good signings. Our last-minute goalkeeper
and Timo Werner.
Do you
not think Thiago Silva is a good signing?
Okay, well, he was free. It's one of our bargains. So,
yeah, but it's still a signing, though.
Yes, and him. I wanted to see Sarr in there. I don't care if he's 21. The problems at Chelsea are this. How many of those players are Frank's players? Chilwell's Frank's players. Chilwell is his boy.
I said Ziyech is his player because he brought him in January.
This is how stupid Chelsea are. You brought in these lads in January, and they trained with the team. You should have let them stay at their clubs and let them apply themselves and, do something last season. Who knows what Werner would have achieved with Leipzig last season? I could have examined him properly, even though he's top class. And I've said it that Chelsea have hijacked a great transfer. We always do it somehow, some way. When it comes to hijacking transfers, Chelsea's amazing at it. But Wajid, from what I'm seeing, this is worse than last season. It really is. Frank's not new to this job anymore. So I have to write this. I'm writing the season off now. He has to show me. It's just not good enough, man. It's just not good. I've had enough. I'll take anyone. But if we're going to stick with Frank for sentimental values, it's Wajid, there's going to be a lot of lows and there's going to be a few car crashes. And you know what? I think we're going to beat one of the top four. I really do. I think we will. I think Havertz will turn up and Werner. I think we will beat one of the top four. But I think that's it. I actually believe Chelsea will finish sixth this season. It's got worse, Wajid. You can't say to me, Tammy Abraham, who was playing last season, scored 15 to 20 Premier League goals. He's now not making the team. Why?
Did Tammy Abrahams at 15 last year?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It was about that. You can't tell me this kid isn't good. Play them both. And I'll be honest with you, Frank is tactically not there. This is his second year.
He's not.
It's not an apprenticeship. Well, it is an apprenticeship. And we're a laughing stock at the moment. There are Chelsea fans telling me we're finishing top four. I am definitely not seeing something. And they said, you're being critical. I have to be critical because of the performances. I have to be fair enough. Our defense is a shambles when we don't have our leaders in there.
You spent £200 million. Right, this isn't. You can't say we're defensively.
The money's not an issue to me. The money's not an issue to me. It comes and goes. The money is what it is. But Havertz, what is it? I'm still yet to see. You even rated Havertz more than me.
No, I said Havertz is a good player, but I said Havertz is a good player, but I also said it's not what Chelsea need. I flat out said there was no need for the buy. That money had been got better somewhere else. I want Upamecano at United. You want Upamecano at Chelsea for 50 million. Yeah, he's worth the gamble. Saif, I want to ask you, do you know, as the neutral here, who do you think's in a worse position out of the two clubs?
I think it's fairly even, to be honest. I think Chelsea's going to take some time to gel, but I think they've got quality players. United still need a couple of quality players. I think United short in the defense, unless Tuanzebe suddenly just picks up and becomes a new, well, better than Harry Maguire.
That's not trust me, that's not saying much.
Yeah, United need a couple of good defenders. I think they're okay in the forward. They're fine with the midfield. I think it's just the defense which needs a little bit of revamping. And I could say the same for Chelsea. Chelsea has world-class forwards, good midfielders, poor defensively. That's the issue.
So if you had the choice between the two, which one would you pick? Which one's the smaller car crash?
Tough question.
That's why I'm asking it.
It's difficult to say that, really. I'll have to take the fifth on that. I'm not too sure which is better.
Sat on the fence.
It's very difficult to decide. It's very difficult.
Let's go to Tottenham. You've got a big game on Monday night. You're going to Burnley. How confident are you going into this game against Burnley on Monday night?
I think we should win fairly comfortably. Away, home, I think right now is a good time because away games don't matter as much. And we won all our away games, so we're okay with that, I think. So I think Burnley will sit back a little deeper. For sure, they're not going to go in with wing backs, so we may have a little issue there. But I think we'll be fine. I don't think we should expect a 5-1 or a 4-1. I think it'll be a solid like a 2-0 or a 3-1. Not getting out of second gear.
Where do you think Mourinho should play Gareth Bale? Because I don't personally believe he should be on the wing.
Yeah, I think he's lost that pace, but I think he's a good. I would say go for a number 10. If we play that, in that formation, the 4-2-3-1. But if you're going with wingers, then I guess you'll have to go with him. I think he's better quality than Mora or whoever, Bergwijn, So again, there's still a little bit of time he needs in the middle, which I think he needs 4-5 games more at least to get onto that pace, and then we're going to see some part of Gareth Bale back.
What's a good season for Tottenham this season? Does it need to be a title run this year?
Sorry?
What's a good season for Tottenham this season? Does it need to be a title run this year?
I don't know if you're ready for a title run, but I think top 4 should be fine. But I think a title run, look, it can be done because everyone's defenses are crap. So it's the best time to do it right now, because let's be fair. All Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs, they're all pretty average. So unless some miracle happens and everyone starts keeping clean sheets, I think we have a chance.
If you miss out on
I'm scared about our defense.
Sorry. If you miss out on top 4 this season, is it a poor season?
Yes.
Right. It's an honest answer.
Yeah.
Who's the most important player for Tottenham? Is it Son or is it Kane for you?
For me, it's Kane. Kane's creating, which is something different. We don't have that really, the creative guy, and Kane's taken up that mantle and he's pretty successful at it so far. Let's hope that it can continue for a bit. Lo Celso should take that up also, but I think Kane for now, he's doing an important job for the team. And of course, if he gets a chance to finish, he's not going to leave that.
Who's the better?
Again, that does not undermine Son though. Son's important too. As is Bale.
Who's the better finisher, Heung-min Son or Harry Kane?
Kane, no doubt.
That's
not even a question.
I'd say Son is the better player, but I think Kane's the better finisher.
Son is so underrated.
Extremely.
He is underrated, no doubt about that. But I think Kane's just a slightly better finisher.
Do you believe at the end of the season Harry Kane will be a Tottenham player?
Yes, I think he will.
You don't think any other club like Manchester United might come in with a silly bid?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna. If he leaves, it's gonna be outside. I don't think he's gonna play for another club in England. Unlikely.
I think Man
But I think
United.
he'll be there. I think he knows that the club's investing. They've got in people like Bale and Reguilon, good players. So I think they know that there is a bit of ambition. It wasn't like how Daniel Levy was. I think suddenly something happened to him, and he just decided, okay, let me spend some money, and he did. I think actually also the fact that Chelsea spent so much money, and the other clubs do spend, I think it just like increase the sense of urgency in him. Like, okay, my rivals are just going further and further away. So I need to spend and, just make sure that, I start filling the damn stadium, and we got to play Champions League in that stadium. Otherwise, it's just like a white elephant over there.
Do you not think with that stadium you're gonna have the same problem Arsenal had, where they're paying off the debt for the next 15 years? It feels like the signings are very success now, or Tottenham are going to be the ugly stepchild again, as they have been in North London.
I think the stadium's I think he's planning some good stuff for the stadium, like, but COVID actually screwed up all the plans, like the NFL, and those things would have helped.
Yeah.
I think we would have recovered the debt faster than Arsenal. Arsenal struggled under that for a long time. They did have some gigs, but I believe there are a lot of gigs and all planned for the new stadium, and of course the naming is still to be done. So I think he can get quite a lot of the debt out of through the naming, So let's see how that goes.
Is it still called the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
Yeah, not decided yet. Nothing here, and now I think it's going to take another 6 months at least, because COVID really screwed a lot of companies' finances. So I don't know if anyone's willing to spend 20 million a year at least. I don't think any company's going to do that right now. So you've got some time. It's going to be the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for at least this season.
I mean, there's a game tomorrow night. The season surprise packages. Aston Villa, they go up against Leeds. What are we saying? I think Villa win. 2-0. I think Leeds are very good at the high press, but quality up front is not good. Bamford had a good start to the season, but I don't know. I just don't see it. Like, they're starting to struggle a bit now. Their fitness is amazing. Their high press is awesome, but against Wolves, they were really, really poor up front. And Wolves could have won 2-3-0. And I think Leeds are gonna start having those problems. I don't think they're used to. I don't know. I just get the feeling they're not used to the quicker tempo.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think Leeds defensively aren't great, to be honest. I think even though they score 2, I think Villa can score 3. So it's going to be a close game, but I would say Villa would shade it. And they're on form right now, so I'd go with a Villa win.
A certain Jack Grealish is looking. Him and Ross Barkley are looking fairly formidable in the middle of that Villa Park at this moment in time.
Yeah. And I'm wondering what Gareth Southgate is thinking, not playing Grealish.
Mason Mount, man, come on, what's wrong with you? Mason Mount is the future. Who needs Jack Grealish when you have Mason Mount? He's industrial. Did anyone see that press conference where he got asked a question about Jack Grealish and he ended up talking about Mason Mount?
No, I didn't see that.
So the journalist asked him, so what did you make of Jack Grealish's debut? He went, yeah, it was a really good debut, but the reason we played Mason Mount is because he worked so hard when he came on. It's like, mate, we get it, you like Mason Mount, but Jack Grealish, I don't know. I don't know how Jack Grealish doesn't start for England either. It's a tragedy.
My opinion on the Villa Leeds game, I feel like it's going to be a draw.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's going to be 2-2. I just for some odd reason I've got a feeling Leeds will score. I know Leeds will not be able to defend. I think if you look at the Wolves game, I think when you come up against very good opposition, and Wolves are a counter-attacking team. They always have been. They always defend very well as a team. And if you look at the other night, and I said this to Uday, he said, I was thinking the same thing, but he didn't say it. So I said it to him. I said, look at Wolves strip. Look at the kit. Looks like Portugal. And I just said, no one's getting past Conor Cody and Will Bowley today. Who Conor Cody especially, I think, is too good to be at Wolves. In my personal opinion, he should be at. I think he could make the United team, could make the Chelsea team, he could make the Spurs team, Leicester team. I think he needs to be at a better club, in my opinion. The press is good, but what I remember about this high pressing line is, Wajid, remember when Klopp first came to Liverpool and they were blitzing teams because they were playing more or less the same way. They were pressing teams high up the pitch. Why did he buy Van Dijk? Because they were leaking a lot at the back. And then suddenly he got them to control games, which Leeds can't do. Because you can't always press. Sometimes you have to hold the ball and conserve your energy and then hit teams on the counter or try and pass through them.
I think they're missing Ben White this year.
Everyone's missing anyone. It's
no,
not
but
Ben White.
As in when because they tried buying Ben White from Brighton, didn't they? And Ben White was a massive staple in that centre. But
pay the money. That's what they should have done. Pay 60 million because you know he's your best player, best defender. Why do you think no one's gone for him? They want silly money.
It's the same why no one. So it's just, everyone knew all he wanted. Grealish is the same why no one went to Villa. No one's going to pay 80 million for Jack Grealish, are they? I mean, Watford were valuing.
I don't think it was 80. I don't think. I think it would. I think you could have got him for the Chelsea sum of 70.
Yeah, but even my point, I believe Watford won 40 to 45 million for Ismail Assar. Apart from that one game against Liverpool, I don't know what he did. Like the values in English clubs are ridiculous.
I can't really say anything. I support Chelsea, so money doesn't really make sense at all. But in terms of Leeds, I said they're going to finish around 14th, between 12 and 14. I don't think they'll finish in the top half. For me personally, I think the team needs a lot of surgery, and if they can keep Bielsa for 3 to 5 years, I think eventually in 5 years' time they will be a good side. This is a team good enough to stay in the Premier League, but some of the players are not good enough to be at Leeds, and the quality is not there. Bamford can only do so much. You need to at least supply him as well. You can't just always just press, and then because when teams play around you and they defend deep, because people were saying Leeds should have scored in the first half, there was a reason why they didn't score. It's because Wolves defended like a team. And that's how you stop teams like Leeds. And yeah, even though I want them to win because they're a team from Yorkshire, I think it's going to be a draw. I think Villa are just good. Dean Smith, to give him credit, this season he's bought well, and tactically we've seen it.
Tactically, he's been on point.
Really good.
Yeah. Let's quickly burn through the rest of the game. So we have Moyes versus Pep, which is the 12:30 kickoff British time at the London Stadium. What are we saying?
I'm saying it's a draw.
What score? Let's go for scores.
2-2.
Hanif?
3-2 Man City.
I'm going 3-0. I think they want to make a statement after the showing. Then the 3 o'clock kickoff is a South London derby. It's Fulham versus Crystal Palace at the Cottage.
1-0 Palace.
Big man, Hanif. That's a
0-0. It's a draw.
I'm going 2-0 Palace. We've already done the Man United Chelsea. Saturday evening kickoff is Liverpool versus Sheffield United. I think Sheffield United win.
3-0 Liverpool.
Really, I think Sheffield United win 1-0.
Yeah, Sheffield's defense sucks, man. I mean, it's not the same as last year.
I think they win 1-0.
Liverpool's just got too much quality for me. I think they win 2-0.
Fair enough. And now we move into Sunday's fixtures. Southampton Everton starts off at 2:00.
I think it's going to be 2-2.
Oh my God! It took my scoreline. I'm going 3-3.
I'm going 2-1 Everton. I just think Everton got too much quality. Wolves
Rodriguez
Newcastle.
is not playing. Just bear that in mind. He's out.
I still think they're good enough. Wolves Newcastle at 4:30.
That's a tough one. I think Wolves 2-0.
Now Wolves 3-0. If Newcastle play the way they did on Saturday, it's gonna be a cakewalk for Wolves.
Newcastle aren't good defensively.
Newcastle awful.
Wolves.
They should have lost 7-1 to Spurs. They were awful.
Yeah, 2-1 Wolves. I think they'll scrape by.
And the Sunday evening kickoff, which I think is actually quite a good game. It's at the Emirates. It's Arsenal Leicester.
2-1 Leicester.
Yeah, you say that as a Spurs fan.
No. I think Arsenal will score one, but I think Jamie Vardy, he always does well against them. So I'm going for a Leicester win.
Fair enough.
2-2 for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2-2.
I think because both teams are played in the Europa. I don't know if Vardy's fit because he didn't play last week, and if Vardy doesn't play, I don't know.
Yeah,
where
if
the
Vardy
goal.
doesn't play, it's a different
Yeah,
game.
I think Arsenal win if Vardy doesn't play. So if Vardy plays, I think it's 2-2. I think it's got draw written all over it for me.
Yeah, 2-2. Well, I don't know. It's Arsenal's defense. It depends. Depends which David Luiz shows up.
I don't think it's David Luiz. Everyone gives him a hard time. He's not the one that's playing badly. I think it's Leno. It depends what Leno turns up as well.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. And then we move into Monday's games, which is Brighton West Brom, which is the 5:30 kickoff.
Bloody hell.
0-0. No one's going to score in both those games. No way.
West Brom scored. They just concede a lot too.
Who's going to pay £15 to watch that shit?
Do you know what? Honestly, you would be surprised. I didn't think anyone was going to pay £15 to watch Newcastle versus Man United. People paid £15.
Saif, how do you know about the
United
£15 thing? Saif, where did you read about that?
I'm on Twitter. Everyone's just like gone crazy on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's only an England thing. The rest of the world gets all the games whenever they want. It's only the Kamine here that think £15 is a good idea. And people pay.
We have the games on pay-per-view, so we're okay. I mean, we have the games like on streaming, so we're good.
Going back to the game, I think Lamptey will turn up. I'm backing him. I think Brighton will legit 1-0. And
then the final game, which we have previewed, is Burnley versus Tottenham, which is the last game of match day 6. Before we close out, I would go amiss as to say there's a fairly big fight in Abu Dhabi on Saturday night. I want predictions.
Not for me. I have no idea.
No,
nothing about fights though.
Just engage.
Khabib.
Which round?
Yeah, I think Cristiano Ronaldo sent him a message of congratulations or something. I haven't seen any of those fights though. It's not a big thing for me, to be honest.
Fair enough. Me and Hanif will probably previewing the fight on the show, but I just want Hanif's predictions between now and Saturday when he may or may not change.
Might change on Saturday, but Khabib at the moment.
Which round? I've got Khabib in 4.
Decision.
Fair enough. Saif, thank you very much for joining us. Is there anywhere people can follow you, anywhere to look out for you, or anything like that? Do you want to plug everything you need to plug?
Just my Twitter. It's Saif0510. That's about it.
Thank you very much. No, thank you very much for being on with us today. I mean, definitely,
My pleasure.
definitely looking forward to having you on here again.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Hanif, big man. Thank you very much as always. I'll see you Saturday on the show. Do you want to plug? You want to plug your socials as well before we sign out?
I don't even know my socials are. You know that I don't keep an eye on Sangam Sports One. I don't know my socials.
That's
Just
true.
follow the show. Sangam Sports. There we go. Follow the YouTube channel and just follow me on Instagram. Yeah, hopefully we can get. We've got a Spurs fan. Hopefully we can get a certain Liverpool fan back on. I'm gonna try and persuade him after upsetting him. And then hopefully get some fans on from other teams as well. But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be fun times ahead.
Definitely. So if everyone could please like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on my socials. I'm @Wajigani on Twitter and @Wajigani on Instagram. We'll be back. Me and Hanif will be back next week with more previews, more shows. For now, everyone, we're signing out. Peace.
See you later. Thank you, Saif.